Good evening and welcome to North Central High School for the second to last game of day one of the 5th annual Paul Logan Memorial Invitational here from North Central High School. It pits the 5-0 Evansville Reitz Panthers against the receiving votes out in Class 4A, the Pike Red Devils, who come in with an overall record of 4-2. Alongside Jared Thomas, my name is Rick Johnson, and Jared, we have two teams. Reitz trying to keep their season undefeated. Pike trying to get back on the winning side. I think they're dropping 2 in a row.
That's exactly right. 4 straight wins to start the season. Dropped the last couple. Lawrence Central was a lot closer game than their game against Anderson. I know the Red Devils are looking to get back in the win column. And as you already said, for the Panthers, to kind of get that winning streak alive, keep it alive, I should say. Maybe some remnants of when they went to state back in 2015, rattling off close to 20 straight all the way into the state tournament where they played Homestead in that 4A state championship game.
You look at Pike, they fell to number 10 Anderson, 79-63 last time out. That was a game that featured over 60 free throws, a very physical contest. What do you think Pike needs to do after one of those 4 in a row, those 2 setbacks recently?
I think it's the tale of 2 sides of the coin. One, they couldn't play defense without fouling, constantly sending Anderson to the free throw line. But then it was the inability to make shots. It's quite simple for the Red Devils. What Jeff Teague has done as the head coach, he puts them in advantageous situations to score the ball and score the ball effectively. If they make shots, I'm sure they like their chances.
And there, the 12-year NBA veteran Jeff Teague leading his alma mater, the class of 2000, former Indiana All-Star. And on the other side for Evansville Reitz, Austin Brooks in his 3rd season leading the Panthers. It'll be Jalen Mitchell and Isaiah Hill to jump. And we're underway from North Central High School. Reitz in the dark uniforms. They have the opening possession, attacking the basket to the right. Trying to swing it around the arc, and it's deflected out of bounds as Swanson was waiting for that one on the entry pitch.
This is going to be an interesting task for the Panthers to keep the Red Devils off the glass because of how well they team rebound. Something that you'll pay attention to as this game goes on.
Corner 3 doesn't drop. Saved on the end line by Jahari Miller. It was Luke Lawrence who missed that from the corner. He struggled to shoot the 3 to start the year, just 17% here to start. TJ Davis has the ball, and he gives off to Ian Macon, who's coming off an 11-point showing in the loss to Anderson last Saturday. Pierce Collins, 25 in white, now off to Jahari Miller, their leading scorer at 18 per game, and he gets the soft roll from the free throw line.
It's a multi-level scorer in Jahari Miller. Can do it at all facets in his game, and he's definitely the guy that they look to offensively.
Long 2, Reitz answers on the other end by their top scorer, Lavelle Tinsley. Miller tries to make it 5 in a row to start, doesn't get the 3-point shot to drop, and Reitz will have their opportunity to take their first lead of the evening. Tinsley, baseline over the 6'11" Hill, and a good contest by the young sophomore. Davis stops, off to Macon, not a 3-point shooter, puts it on the deck, down low and right in front. Easy finish for the 6'4", Pierce Collins.
It's a nice dribble drive, getting it inside to the big guys, challenging that defense from the Panthers.
Zone look here for Pike. So they have the 6'11" Hill down there manning the paint. Skip over the zone to Lawrence, 2 of 5 from 3 last time out, misses the shot there, he's 0 of 2. We got offensive rebound. Open look for the Panthers, and Swanson drills the trifecta.
When it comes to just the density and the amount of attempts that this Evansville Reitz Panthers team has, that's the #1 guy, shooting 43% on his 24th attempt right there. He can flat out shoot it from deep.
Pike trailing for the first time today. Macon puts it on the deck. A little elbow line jump shot, no good. And now the big man Mitchell puts it on the deck, and he lobs it to the front court as Reitz looks to build on their 1-point lead. A little traffic on the baseline, saved by the Panthers. Hayes, 3, you bet.
I talk about the density in attempts at 43% for Swanson. It's Hayes that actually shoots it a bit better than him, 44%. So only 1 percentage point, but now 8 of 17 on the year.
Had a really good year shooting the 3 at 40% as a junior last year when he averaged 11 points per game. Production down a little bit this year, but his 3-point shot has got a 2-possession lead here for Reitz. And then Mitchell, probably not the mismatch he wanted with the 5'9" guard, Macon on the wing, but he's able to get his foot in there and get a kick ball.
But it looked like Mitchell was up for the challenge. Got in a nice stance defensively, challenged Macon on the perimeter. So much of what he does on the court all around in his game is why he's such a highly touted recruit as only a sophomore for the Panthers.
He has at least 11 rebounds in 3 straight games, and has 4 double-doubles out of the 5 contests. Well, if you want a skill set, Hill tries his hand at his first 3 of the season, doesn't get her to go. Mitchell challenged down low, another offensive rebound for Pike, for Reitz, and Mitchell lobs it up to Tinsley, who tried the mid-range game, hopped up off the glass and then down for a deuce.
That's exactly when the Panthers are at their best. It's when Lavelle Tinsley gets in transition and probes through the defense, either at the rim or in that short pull-up game that we just saw.
Full timeout for Pike. We'll keep it here. The Westside Chamber is proud to sponsor the Decatur Central Hawks and the Pike Red Devils today. These student athletes are being developed to be our future community and business leaders. The Westside Chamber is committed to being part of ensuring the future is bright for students as well as area businesses. For more information, log on to westsidechamber.biz. It was an early punch thrown by Pike. They had a chance to go up 5-0 as Miller tried to make it 5 in a row to start for the Red Devils, but since then, Reitz has found a really nice groove here offensively.
It's tough with how quickly the Panthers get into transition. If you're going to play zone defense as the Red Devils, you then don't have a man to match up to because you're not playing that man-to-man defense in the half court. And that's exactly where the Panthers are so good. I'm interested to see what the Red Devils do to adjust to limit those transition looks for the Panthers.
First matchup between Evansville Reitz and Pike in over 40 years. The John Harrell website, that's as far back as it goes. No meetings between Evansville and Pike.
Is there anything other than the John Harrell website?
No, it pretty much is. We pretty much just regurgitate what he has on that website with a couple of things sprinkled in.
John Harrell's website is law for all high school sports in Indiana.
I probably owe him some money. he hopefully doesn't find my address and ask for a handout or a payout, a late Christmas gift for John Harrell. TJ Davis out of the Pike timeout. And another steal here for the Panthers. It's scooped up by Swanson. Right on the ball was Miller, but Jared, like you mentioned, Reitz, when they want to hit the accelerator, those guys can really fly.
And it's with the pass, not so much with the dribble, but looking ahead to see who is up ahead of them so they can potentially cash in at the rim.
Davis on a steal. Left corner 3, Miller. Got it.
Everything Jahari Miller does, he just makes it look so easy. That Jeffersonville game, 27 points, but it was the 6 of 7 from 3 that really caught my eye. So that's a guy that can get it going quickly.
That stops the 8-0 run for Reitz, but a red-hot start for Lavelle Tinsley. He has got 6 points to start, and he's shown all facets of his game. Tinsley had 21 points on 9 of 17 shooting last Saturday, and Reitz's best offensive performance of the year against Madisonville and North Hopkins out of Kentucky. Miller takes the Hill screen, and Reitz's Tinsley a little bit slow to get back, and Hill drains the 3-ball.
It seemed like Tinsley felt like something was not quite right with his ankle, wasn't able to rotate to Hill, and Hill knocked it down for the Red Devils.
Pike still in the zone. Swanson trying to break it with a corner 3, and he got it.
The tough part with a shooter like Swanson, as soon as he sees his first one go down, any contest that's short and not on time, he's going to make you pay.
The senior, like Jared mentioned earlier, 43% from 3, unable to answer TJ Davis, and Mitchell gobbles up another rebound here in the opening quarter. 5-point lead for Reitz. Mitchell wanted a triple try. He's not too shabby from out there. Draining 38% from beyond the arc for the Panthers on the year. Open for a 3, and another one drops. Luke Lawrence finds the bottom of the cup.
You talk about only 17% from 3, but it sure does feel good as a shooter when you get a few open looks to start the game. At some point in time, it has to go down in your favor.
Hill hit a 3 a few moments ago here for Pike as they trail by a game-high 8. Collins, the 6'4" senior, bully ball down low. Tried to wrestle the ball away from Mitchell, could not. And Lawrence hits the accelerator for Reitz. Up the floor, leaking, and a nice job on the reverse layup by Evan Hayes.
It's a nice job. You look at Jalen Mitchell and what he brings to the basketball court. Yes, he's 6'9". Yes, he's highly touted, as I've already mentioned. But he truly plays basketball the right way. Constantly Evan Hayes with a nice left hand.
Nice drive to the free throw line.
bit out of reach. Once again, it's about
no good. Miller's going to go against Jalen. For Reitz, you see him there. The 6'5" junior. Also off the bench for Pike. And Jalen Ashley. 8 points.
Challenge the ball handler at the start of a defensive possession. The Panthers constantly sucking into that airspace, not allowing the Red Devils to get downhill.
Swanson, one of the bright spots for Reitz here in the opening stanza. He's got a first quarter 6 with less than a minute to go. Panthers have led for the majority of this opening quarter. Lawrence puts it on the deck. Circus layup too much, and it's cleaned up by Dokes down low for the Red Devils.
But as I said, what is the Pike Red Devils going to do about that transition offense from the Panthers? We saw there on that possession the shift to man outside of that 1-2-2 zone.
Nice kick out to Macon. Couldn't get the 3 to go. Last touch by Pike, and it's going to go back to Reitz with about half a minute remaining. Aiden Woods makes his first appearance for Pike. Lawrence will exit for Evansville Reitz. Jaden Overton in off the Panther bench as Pike turns up the full court pressure here with 30 seconds remaining in the first. It's been pretty much all Reitz here in the opening quarter. Mitchell, the sophomore, showing off the handle as Pike goes to the man-to-man look. Swanson's had a nice opening quarter. Another 3 on the way, and Reitz is red hot from three-point range as Hayes knocks down his second one. Glancing off the rim, no good with 2 seconds left. Reitz, nice pass over Swanson, but he bobbled the ball and couldn't get that shot to go. But Reitz, a fantastic opening quarter. They lead by 11.
They limited Pike to only 1 shot most of those possessions. They got into transition, made it count, and they hit a couple open threes, and that explains that 11-point lead.
Big-time shots on both ends. It started with Jahari Miller for Pike, but it was a lot of Lavelle Tinsley and Reitz in that opening quarter. They lead by 11. You're watching the Paul Logan Memorial Invitational on the ISC Sports Network.
McCulling in time. Oh, no! It's good.
This one is
God, there you go.
Wow, Dawson makes a great catch.
Spin, win, 3, bury it for Leland Walker.
Tie the game they do with the dunk by Malik Edmonds. What a play.
Oh, my goodness.
I feel a little momentum starting to fall Ellen's way.
That is Wrestler! Wrestler! Whoa!
11-point lead for Evansville Reitz as we get ready to start the second quarter, but not all good for the Panthers. They're missing one of their better players in that opening quarter. Jared Lavelle Tinsley got a little tangled up there in the first.
It was a 3 by Isaiah Hill from Pike. Lavelle wasn't able to contest it. He was aiding the right ankle of his, saw him go to the bench, messing with his shoe as he took it off, and I think he went back to the locker room maybe to get some tape around that ankle.
Drive to the cup by Damon Howard Jr. is stopped with an early foul. Again, just 1 foul called in that quick-moving opening quarter. Preston Tolliver whistled for the foul. He'll be on the floor here for Pike.
Coach Brooks had a legit argument. Jay Swanson doing a nice job getting hand on ball first before anything else.
Tough finish down low for Ashley as Tolliver came in to challenge. And he gets whistled for the foul. A 3-point opportunity here for Pike.
But it was Panthers' inability to get to the midline and not actually get picked. They got picked on that. It was a nice action coming off for the Red Devils.
Not good news that Tolliver just picked up his second foul, but good news for Reitz as Tinsley back in out of the locker room to replace him on the floor. And the free throw off the soft rims here at North Central go for Jalen Ashley. He's got 3 and a travel near midcourt. So combined with the 3-point play, Reitz has had a tough 40 seconds to start this quarter number 2.
It's all about how you start a quarter, how you finish, and how you start a quarter. If you want to get back in the game, if you're Pike, it's a strong finish in the second quarter. strong start, I should say, in the second quarter.
Man-to-man look for Reitz. Dokes on the circle, backdoor cut where he found Woods. Kick out to Damon Howard Jr. That's a 6-0 start for Pike here in the quarter number 2.
It's Damon Howard and it's Jahari Miller if you're Pike. Those are the guys that lead you on the offensive end of the floor.
And that make allows the Red Devils to go back into the zone defense. Here's they've cut their once double-figure deficit down to a simple 5. Hayes trying to be an outlet for Mitchell. Contested 3, glancing off the front rim. Reitz now 5 of 8 from three-point range after going 5 of 7 in the first. But a quick start to the second quarter is exactly what the Pike coaching staff wants to see here in the second. Howard dancing with Overton, who slides out onto him. Dokes double teamed, finds an outlet in Macon, who puts it right on the deck. He's a blur to the rim, threw it up through contact, and it's a one-possession game.
That's a nice job by Ian Making, understanding that Evan Hayes went to double team. He got a nice pass, penetrated. I couldn't even finish my point because I saw Lavelle rise up for the nice alley-oop.
Whew. Pike went to the full court press, Reitz beat it, and then Tinsley soared through the air. I think his ankle's okay.
I think it's safe to say that.
If we were wondering if Tinsley's ankle was okay, he answered the question right there, as he's got 8 points. Knock on the door being our first double-figure score here of the contest. That stops the early run from Pike. Down low to Ashley, and he's had a nice second quarter with 5 points.
One of those front court players that brings a lot, not just on the defensive rebounding glass, but in the paint area on the offensive end of things.
Pretty pirouette by Overton and a soft jump shot pushes that lead back to 2 possessions here for Evansville Reitz. Dokes is a big body, bangs through 2 different Reitz defenders, and then kisses in and off the window.
You see exactly why Evan Hayes went to double team him a couple of possessions ago.
Ball deflected out by Pike, as they have really ramped up that backcourt defensive pressure here in the second. 3-point lead for Reitz has been as big as 11 here in our opening half. And a foul called on the floor as Swanson trying to find some of that offensive magic he had back in the first.
That's exactly right. Nice cut at the top of the key. Got open, but just before he could really make that cut, it was a tug of the jersey. If you're Aiden Woods trying to catch up to Swanson before he got to the rim.
First on Woods. As here's Mitchell spinning against the shorter Woods, and he was very fleet of foot for a 6'9" youngster.
You look at 6'9" and see he's trying to get everyone else involved, and you challenge him sometimes and say, hey, you can also look at the rim, but then you look at the stat book and he averages 16, 9, and 7, and almost 4 steals a game. I mean, the guy is just special, to say the least.
And only 1 turnover, which you don't see a lot of from many high school basketball players, particularly sophomores and guys that are bringing the ball up like we see now from 50 in blue. Definitely a guy to keep your eyes on from the Evansville area and the state in the next couple of years. Look at this move. Just misses it a little bit off to the right, but Mitchell showing off all the skills here in the first half from Indy. Back on the floor, accelerating to the rim was Miller. Couldn't get it. Back to Ashley, who continues his whirling second quarter. Total up to 7 for him.
The Red Devils have done a nice job extending the pressure, playing man-to-man in the half court, and then rallying to get the rebounds, limiting the Panthers to only 1 shot.
Good find there from Reitz. They found Overton in the corner. He came cutting through the zone, but then drew a foul on the floor. That one on Dokes, second one on Pike. And look at Isaiah Hill back in the ball game here with 4.5 to go in the second quarter. Ashley exits. He's right at about his scoring average on the season, with 7 points, all coming here in the second. Open corner 3, a bluff from Lawrence. He resets, he fires, and makes. But Overton down on the floor, slow to get down and now slow to get back to his feet, and he'll have to limp off.
When the defense is in scramble mode, I love what Luke Lawrence did, just giving a subtle ball fake, rhythm dribble, steps into another big three for the Panthers.
Good three there from Lawrence, now 2 of 4 from distance. Puts that lead up to 6 for Reitz. As Reitz goes to the zone defense for the first time today. Howard Jr. Dokes, bully ball, left it short, but the big man Hill's right there, and he puts it in softly.
The adjustment for the Red Devils was to get out of the zone and go man-to-man. The adjustment for Coach Brooks and the Panthers was to get out of man-to-man into the zone. But there, the one part that's the downside of the zone is the inability to rebound. When you don't have a man to go block out, Isaiah Hill taking advantage of that.
Davis with the thievery, but then tip your cap to the senior Swanson for sprinting up the sideline and getting it off the knee right there. And an overturn by our officials. Swanson was fairly confident that he had deflected it off the knee of Davis, and the referees agree with him. Austin Brooks gesturing his Panthers back in, putting it on the deck and right to the rim. Missing the finish was Mitchell, but Tolliver's there to clean her up.
It's the smoothness to Jalen Mitchell's game that stands out to you. The ability to go right to left cross and finish at the rim with the left hand. Not many guys can do that in general, but not many guys that are 6'9" and above.
Davis playing catch with Dokes. Dokes free, down to Hill, weak side for a big-time jam and a foul.
This is the pressure that the Red Devils can put on your defense. The dribble drive, and then it's dumping it off. The big guys playing keep away from the Panthers from one big guy to the next. Isaiah Hill with the nasty finish up top.
Yeah, we talked about the passing ability of Mitchell. Dokes showing off a little damage right there from block to block.
Just understanding that once you see a second defender come to you, someone has to be open.
Hill connects in the three-point play, and he's got it back down to a one-possession deficit here for Pike as the two big men sophomores putting on a show tonight. Davis, though, right to the rim, doesn't get the roll, and that's a tough break here for Evansville Reitz as Luke Lawrence, who's starting to find his rhythm from three, just picked up his second foul.
It's Davis playing the passing lanes, but everyone's been doing it for the Red Devils. Any lob pass, any pass really, the Red Devils have been in contest with it, and it's been paying off as they have a chance to cut this lead even more.
Davis, the lefty. He's got one more to come. Howard Jr. back on the floor for Pike. And Davis misses them both. A tough break there for Pikes. They could have cut it down to a one-point hole. Closest they've been here in some time, down by 3. Swanson was electric in the first quarter, has not scored yet here in the second. Lawrence trying to do work with 2 fouls. Pocket picked. And then as Lawrence was going for the ball, I think he just picked up his 3rd personal. That's the 5th one against Reitz, but look at the maturity there from Mitchell, the sophomore coming in to try to keep the senior Lawrence's spirits up.
The tough part for the Panthers, because Jalen Mitchell at 6'9" brings the ball up a lot of the times, they can get away with not having a point guard in a traditional facet. But what the Red Devils are doing now, pressuring the ball, anytime it goes to anyone else than Jalen Mitchell, it usually has gone in their favor with as many steals as they've gotten in this first half.
3rd one on Lawrence, but more importantly for Pike, that's the 5th one against Reitz here in the quarter, so they have free throws for the final 2:33.
This was an 11-point lead after the end of the first quarter. Pike has battled back with a chance to cut it to 1, and it's been everything that they've done on the defensive end.
Both free throws good for Howard. He's up to 7. His first scoring here of the second quarter. And it's a 1-point deficit as Pike has put together a really strong second stanza after Jared mentioned trailing by 11 at the quarter break. Wright's trying to take some air out of the ball here against the Pike man-to-man defense. Davis is all over Swanson, and a timeout taken by head coach Austin Brooks. Whatever happened in that first quarter for Pike, they have flipped the script here in a big way in the second, and like you mentioned, they've turned up that wick defensively in a big way.
When you sit back in zone defense, you allow the offense to get a head start. They eliminated that head start, went man-to-man, and the results are reflected in this score only being a 1-point lead for the Panthers.
We talked about Pike coming in. They've lost 2 games in a row to number 10 Anderson last Saturday, and then to Lawrence Central the game before that. Do you think it's easy as just they've turned up the defensive pressure? And they've shown multiple defenses here tonight, but this man-to-man defense is smothering, to say the least.
Well, I think it shows Coach Brooks that they have to do something other than Jalen Mitchell. If he's not bringing the ball up, who is that next guy to truly be the point guard or just that guy that's going to get the ball past half court? I don't know if they're going to face another team intensity-wise as Pike the rest of the season, but this is a great test for them to see how they finish, but then also look ahead to the future of the rest of the season.
Wrights took 8 threes in the first row. They made 5 of them. They've taken just 1 here in the second. Is that because Pike's gone away from the zone and there's no more free, wide-open looks?
That's exactly right. Probably
I'll see myself out. Thank you very much.
Probably 6 or 7 of those 8 threes in that first quarter were standstill, catch-and-shoot looks that you get in practice or pregame warm-ups. When that defensive pressure increases, a lot of those possessions that were standstill threes turned into turnovers.
So if you're Wrights, how do you try to get some more of those open looks for 3? Because when you got them, you hit them more often than not in the first.
I think you have to look to Jalen Mitchell inside, controlling the action on the offensive end for the Panthers, and then dish out the ball from the high post.
Turnover on the travel there by Jace Swanson. And it is all Pike here in the second quarter. So they look to get their first lead since they were up 4-2 to start this game off. Ash has had a nice second quarter along with Damon Howard Jr. and Pike's in front.
They've had an answer for everything that the Panthers have done defensively. When they went zone, they knocked it down from 3. They still got into the paint. Big man pass going from one guy to the next, and the defensive pressure continuing to mount if you're the Panthers.
Transition 3, Jahari Miller doesn't go. Weak side rebound, Hill using that height, and another soft finish for the 6'11 sophomore.
6'11. And then when you look at Brendan Noakes, those are the 2 guys that have been getting it done down low, punishing the Panthers on that offensive glass.
Hill's got 10 points. He's our first double-figure scorer tonight. And Pike has got 3 guys with at least 7, 4 with at least 5.
Isaiah Hill is a guy that you don't have to draw up a play for. He goes and gets it based off of what he does around the rim, challenging shots, picking, rolling, and popping.
You just saw him challenge that shot there. It leads to a Howard Jr. 3-point opportunity, and Pike is the hottest thing smoking in Marion County right now.
It's that momentum on the defensive end, getting into the lane. Look at how deep he gets into the defense of the Panthers before there's even a contest, and that contest was from behind. That's what drew the foul and a chance for Pike to extend their lead.
Hayes the guilty party. Howard is perfect from the line, 3 of 3, and he's got a dozen to lead the way here for Pike as they began this quarter trailing by 11. They now lead it by 6 with 65 seconds remaining. And a held ball as this smothering defense of Pike once again is making life more than difficult here for Evansville Reitz. Reitz coming off of their best offensive showing of the season high in points 87, and their best defensive showing, a season low or season best 44 points allowed against Madisonville and North Hopkins. But a different beast tonight here with 4A Pike back in their hometown of Indianapolis. Hayes tries the boogie with Miller. Tinsley traveled. So now it's not only the steals from Pike, but now the unforced errors starting to mount here for Reitz.
It's the mind getting ahead of the body before that basketball touches the hardwood, thinking about what you're doing before you actually take that dribble. And it's all a credit to the defensive effort from the Red Devils.
28-11, that's the scoring differential here in the second. Excuse me, it's 31-11 because that's a 3-point shot good for Jahari Miller.
Miller never in a rush. Everything he does is silky smooth, and he's showing exactly why he is the go-to guy for Pike.
Swanson trying to answer, and he bangs in a three off the back of the rim. He's 3 of 3 from downtown. Traveling violation against Pike, and rightfully so. We've applauded Mitchell, the high-level sophomore for Reitz, Hill, the high-level sophomore for Pike. But Jahari Mitchell, also a sophomore as well. The young guys are showing out here in Indy now. Swanson, 3. First miss from downtown tonight, and now Pike goes out and runs from midcourt. Good if it goes, and it almost went down for Jahari Miller. But a big-time second quarter for Pike as they flip an 11-point deficit into a 6-point lead at the break here against Evansville Reitz. You're watching the Paul Loggan Memorial Invitational on the ISC Sports Network.
Hey there, my name is Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
And we are part of, actually the entirety of, at least from an on-air standpoint, Query and Schultz on the ISC Sports Network. It's appropriately named. It's charitably award-winning. And Derek, now we venture into season number 5. Hard to believe.
5 of them. 5 of them. Can you believe it? 2 best buds talking Colts, Pacers, Indiana sports every Tuesday night, 7:30, ISC Sports Network, and on socials as well.
It is made possible, of course, by the people who watch and listen every single week. We are most appreciative. We look forward to season number 5.
Ball here. Harris scores. With 19 seconds left. Same players, big boy. I'm telling you right now, that's awesome. I love it. That's the finish. You get a layup, take it, and an and one. Fly ball. Out of here. Brewer jams it home.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half. Throw it up for Tillman. Whoa. My goodness. 122-6-0 for Penn.
What a swim! 6 of them.
Shot at the buzzer. Got it! She got it! Oh my goodness, what a shot! Hello! Did it again. Hello! Made the highlight reel again. That goes to Mentor and all kinds of room to run. Down the middle of the field, and he will not be touched. Jackson, hello! There we go.
Stokes throws it, caught, ball ricochets.
Wow.
A huge hit.
Wow.
This has been an amazing display of goal scoring.
Halftime from North Central High School. Pike leading Evansville Reitz 43-37. Rick and Jared here with you in our second to last game of day 1 of the 5th annual Paul Loggan Memorial Invitational. The home team takes on another Evansville team in the nightcap, but right now, Evansville Reitz led by 11 at the break, and then it was all Pike in that second quarter as they outscored the Panthers 21-14.
A game plan that the Panthers would probably want to take advantage of, getting into transition, defense leading to offense, but it was the Red Devils that actually did that, veering away from what they did to start the game, playing man-to-man, extending the pressure into a full-court press, and it's exactly got them this 6-point lead, and I expect them to keep that same effort up in the second half.
Make it 31-14, that scoring differential in the second quarter. Pike led 4-2 in the first, but Jared, like you mentioned, they turned up. They went away from the zone defense, which led to 5 first-quarter threes. They went man-to-man and press, and Evansville didn't have any room to breathe, let alone get a shot off.
And the other benefactor of that is it got them easier looks. Isaiah Hill got some looks at the rim. Dokes got some looks at the rim. That allowed those lanes and those jump shots on the perimeter for Howard and for Miller to actually take advantage of. Was a lot easier than it was when they started the game.
No free throws in the first half for Evansville Reitz. Pike went 5 of 7 from the stripe. The Red Devils made 5 first-half threes. You look at Pike, they have 2 double-figure scores. They have 12 from Damon Howard Jr. and 10 from Isaiah Hill. Those 2 guys have been really, really strong all night for Pike.
It's something that Jeff Teague talked about when he took this job over. Turning this program around wasn't going to be an overnight success story, and it wasn't going to happen in 1 year. Just a year ago, they only won 6 games. If they were to go on to win tonight, that will be win number 5. And the season's just getting started. So all of those players that you mentioned, along with what they've done already this season, they're on the right track. They just have to stay the course.
Been a fun one here in the first half so far between Pike and Evansville Reitz, 2 teams that have not met in over 40 years. Right now it's the Red Devils on top by 6 of the break as you're watching the Paul Logan Memorial Invitational on the ISC Sports Network.
McCulling in time. Oh, no! It's good.
This one is caught.
There you go.
Wow, Dawson makes a great catch.
Spin, win, 3, bury it for Leland Walker.
Tie the game they do with the dunk by Malik Edmonds. What a play.
Oh, my goodness.
I feel a little momentum starting to fall Ellen's way.
That is Wrestler! Wrestler! Whoa!
Hey there, my name is Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
And we are part of, actually the entirety of, at least from an on-air standpoint, Query and Schultz on the ISC Sports Network. It's appropriately named. It's charitably award-winning. And Derek, now we venture into season number 5. Hard to believe.
5 of them. 5 of them. Can you believe it? 2 best buds talking Colts, Pacers, Indiana sports every Tuesday night, 7:30, ISC Sports Network, and on socials as well.
It is made possible, of course, by the people who watch and listen every single week. We are most appreciative. We look forward to season number 5.
Ball here. Harris scores. With 19 seconds left.
Fake players, big boy. I'm telling you right now, that's awesome. I love it.
That's the finish. You get a layup to take it. And an and 1. Fly ball. Out of here. Brewer jams it home.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half. Throw it up for Tillman. Whoa. My goodness.
122-6-0 for Penn.
Oh, what a swim. 6 of them.
First half, it was really a tale of 2 quarters. Early bucket here for Jahari Miller, but then after that in the first quarter, Jared, it was all Evansville Reitz.
It was all the open looks that they got, the inability of that zone defense from Pike to rotate to the shooters, and the Panthers made them pay.
2 teams combined to go 11 of 20 from beyond the arc in the first half. You see a plethora of threes. Luke Lawrence knocked down back-to-back triples early on as Evansville Reitz continued that strong showing as Hayes got in the mix with 2 first-quarter threes, but then that second quarter, Pike started taking it to the rack, and that's when they started to cut into the lead and eventually took the lead.
Really have to give Jalen Ashley some credit. What he did in that second quarter, providing a spark, coming off the bench, attacking the glass and the rebounds, getting some nice finishes at the rim, giving those other big 2 a blow in that second quarter, which ultimately started the big run that we saw the Red Devils go on to end that quarter.
Pretty layup there from Damon Howard Jr. at a game-high 12 in the opening half of play. Corner 3 ball, Jahari Miller, he finished with 8. And don't forget Jay Swanson. He had 9 first-half points for Evansville Reitz. He made his first 3 threes of the evening. And the Panthers are going to need to rely on him to try to get back into this one as they're down 6 at the break here from Indianapolis.
Shot at the buzzer. She got it! Oh, my goodness, what a shot!
Hello.
Did it again.
Hello.
Made the highlight reel again. That goes to Mentor and all kinds of room to run. Down the middle of the field, and he will not be touched. Jackson, hello! There we go.
Stokes throws it, caught, ball ricochets.
Wow.
A huge hit.
Wow. This has been an amazing display of goal scoring.
23-12 is the lead at the end of the first quarter for Evansville Reitz. They give up 31 second quarter points against Pike, and the Red Devils have taken a 6-point lead here heading to the second half. One more game on the docket today. That will be the host, North Central Panthers, taking on the Warriors of Evansville Harrison to round out day one of a plethora of holiday tournaments around the state. We're glad you've decided to join us here on ISC. We'll also be on My Indy TV for the finale tonight between North Central and Evansville Harrison. We've had crews in Newcastle. We've had crews in Kokomo. Pretty much ISC has you covered. If you want to watch high school holiday tournament basketball after Christmas, we're your place to be.
That's exactly right. Any basketball that's going on in the state today or tomorrow, if you're not watching on ISC, I think you're doing something wrong.
I second that wholeheartedly. We've got you covered on all the socials. You can put it on your phone. I mean, if you have to go return that sweater that your aunt got you that you didn't like, and you're like, oh, I can't take it, you just bring your phone with you.
Just bring your phone with you.
Go to the store. You can turn us down a little bit. We won't be too hurt about it, and then you'll be good to go. Simple plan enough. Pike with the ball to start. They've got their starters back on the floor. Unable to get the jump shot to go was Miller, but cleaning up down low was Pierce Collins.
This is the mismatch down low. It's the rebounding of the Red Devils. It's the size of the Red Devils that doesn't really play to an advantage for the Panthers. Those Panthers have to do a better job of team rebounding, or the Red Devils can really make them pay.
Another turnover for Reitz on a steal by Pike. They have been thieves beautifully here since the second quarter on. And Mitchell remains quiet for Evansville Reitz. Their second leading scorer, just 2 points. But a traveling violation whistled against Pierce Collins. How do you try to get Jalen Mitchell back into this one?
Well, the part that's a bit tough for the Panthers is Jalen Mitchell is a distributor by nature. So he's not outwardly aggressive when it comes to attacking. So you have to find a way to get him the ball and become a decision maker in the middle of all their action.
As we mentioned, starters on the floor for both teams here to start this quarter off, and a nice mid-range jump shot down the hatch for Lavelle Tinsley.
And that's the guy that truly is the pistol starter for the Panthers. He is their leading scorer, almost 17 points per game. That is Lavelle Tinsley. Look for him to get in transition in that mid-range as he's done so much tonight.
10 points for him. Left open TJ Davis. He can't find the range from three. Long rebound comes out. Reitz almost gave it away. Mitchell got it, spots for a three ball, and that's a big bucket for the youngster.
Some things that he does is just flat out not fair. No one that is 6'9" and only a sophomore should be able to move and play like that. It's a reason that he got an offer being only in the 8th grade from the University of Evansville.
Spinning and jamming Isaiah Hill to the rack.
Isaiah Hill finding himself in a nice position, contributing to the game so much. What he does affecting shots at the rim on the defensive end, but it's been his offensive performance tonight, shooting the three and big-time finishes like that.
Mitchell tried to get a step-back triple try. Deals off to Swanson. He's been the best three-point shooter for Reitz here this evening. They've got the ball down 5. Early on here in the third, Hill swats that try away. Hayes able to scoop it up in traffic. Tinsley keeps his feet away. Mitchell tried to let the three go, but it's 3 in the key here for the Panthers.
But that's exactly it for the Panthers. Multiple efforts. You see how much attention is given to the offensive glass. Tinsley attacking, finding Mitchell, but then just got stuck in the lane. But that's what the Panthers are going to have to do. Multiple efforts after that initial shot goes up.
Isaiah Hill has really filled out here since his freshman campaign a year ago. Gets the ball from his classmate Jahari Miller. And here's the elder statesman Collins. And another traveling violation here against Pike. They've started to pick up a little bit with the self-inflicted wounds after playing pretty clean in the second.
You can't get bored with the success that you had in that first half. Everything you did was working. Speed that tempo back up. Swing this game back in your favor.
Again, Mitchell, 6'9" sophomore, trying to bring it up from the backcourt. Deals it off to Swanson. Mitchell trying to post up with a smaller Macon defending him. Hill lurking, double team Collins, deflected it, stolen by Miller. Pike out and running. Hill waiting for the lob, couldn't get there, and so Miller says, I'll just take it right to the rim myself.
The one thing that I noticed just with the naked eye is for the Panthers, when things aren't going their way, they don't run as fast or as quickly to get back into transition as they do when things are going their way. But as with Pike, they've done a nice job of continuing to be even keel in their effort, and that's exactly why they're leading by 7.
Timeout for Evansville Reitz, a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. Chris Shields, one of Indiana's top officials, is responsible for the assignment of officials for many major events, including the Paul Loggan Memorial Classic. Want to become an IHSAA official? We need you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to find out how easy and rewarding it can be. Plus, your first-year license is free. Our officials doing a fine job here this evening. Again, glad you're making us part of your post-Christmas plans as we barrel down, getting closer and closer, turning the calendar over to 2025. And for Pike, that'll mean when the new year comes, the always exciting Marion County tournament will be on the horizon.
It's that time of the year. One, I can't believe it's already 2025. It felt like this year just started a couple of days ago, but an exciting time in high school basketball, particularly the men's, as the women's have already been well into their seasons, but the men's start to pick up as that new year comes around.
Yeah, the ladies sectional draw is less than a month out from now, and it'll be tournament time for them when February comes. Tough drive, doesn't get the bounce by T.J. Davis. Wonderful leap from Macon, couldn't get the steal. A 3-on-2, Swanson, a circus layup, and a foul.
Taking matters into your own hands. You hear me saying right here from the broadcast booth, they have to find a way to get a second ball handler. And Jay Swanson said, I can take care of that for you. I can get to the rim, and I can make the tough finish. The hang time is what I was impressed by. The up and under, finishing through contact. The senior has been impressive tonight.
That's a 5'9" guy going up against guys that are much taller and can jump maybe a little bit higher than him, but he has gone in there unafraid here this evening against Pike. Trying to make it a 4-point hole. Swanson, a good free throw shooter at 73%. He completes a 3-point play, and he's got a dozen to pace Reitz here tonight, and they've cut it down to a 49-45 deficit. Hill from just beyond the left elbow. Miller's got 10, dribbles into the double team. Aggressive man-to-man look here for Reitz. Damon Howard Jr. had a game-high 12 in the first half, looking for his first scoring of the third, and he does it in impressive fashion.
Tells everyone to get out of the way and allow me to have this dance, and he made good on that promise with the step-back fadeaway jump shot, and then coming up with the defensive deflection and steal.
The Red Devils knocking on the door of 10 steals here in just the second and third quarters alone. Hill's mid-range J doesn't go, but Collins was on the floor and ripped it away to keep it here for Pike. Woods off to Hill, who got his feet all over the place, and he's whistled for the travel. But that's an impressive play from Collins playing from his backside.
He was playing from his backside because he took a tumble that he was about to go nurse, and then he saw the ball right there, and he just got his hands on it. Shows you how strong Collins is down low.
Go nurse. I'm going to have to add that to my repertoire. That's nice. You can teach me up during the break. It's okay. I'm old.
If we have enough time.
That's right. We might not. You never know. 6-point deficit for Reitz. Mitchell, their second leading scorer, has been held to just 5. Had 2 back in the second quarter. Was scoreless in the first. Puts on the floor here and draws the foul on the floor.
This is Mitchell, who moved to Evansville from Olney, Illinois in his 8th grade year. Found his way to Evansville Reitz, and he's part of that rare air in Evansville of guys who got recruited before they even played a high school game. The likes of Trent Sisley that got offered by IU, and Jaquan Lyle that got offered by IU. Sisley, IU, and Purdue. Christian Lander, although he was in high school, he was only 14 to 15 years old. Jalen Mitchell is that next guy.
Howard Jr. trying to be a guy tonight. He's got 16 and another tough shot from the mid-range.
After what seemed to be him come up gimpy after contesting the dribble drive from Mitchell. But every time he gets on that offensive end, he finds a way to make it work.
3-point shot good on the other end for Lavelle Tinsley. For Reverse triple for Tinsley, trying to get a steal on the other end. Hounding Howard Jr. and Tinsley able to pick the pocket. Hayes out and leaking. There are two Red Devils there. He stomps on the brakes, going right to the rack against Hill, but Tinsley missed it. Mitchell able to clean it up. Out for a three from Luke Lawrence, and a big-time shot for the Panthers.
It was Jalen Mitchell coming off of the other end of the floor, battling for the offensive rebound, finding the next guy, and they reap the benefits.
And just like that, Evansville Reitz has got it down to 2. Pike folks wanting a violation against Mitchell. Stays here with the Panthers with an opportunity to tie or take the lead. Mitchell from downtown for the lead, doesn't go. Lawrence the rebound in traffic is rewarded with a foul against Pike for his hard work.
The effort on the defensive end is null and void if you don't come up with the rebound. So as hard as you're working to get a stop, it's a letdown when you don't secure the rebound, and that's what's allowed the Panthers to climb back in this game. This has been a pendulum shift for both teams, getting down but clawing back in.
Evansville Reitz was once down by 7 here in the quarter. That forced a timeout. They are knocking on the door of tying it up or taking the lead. Hayes wants the lead with a 3 in front of his own bench, but it hits nothing but the bottom of the net, except it didn't go through the rim. Accelerating to the front court was Howard, and he'll back it out. It's been a whirl to watch this evening. Ashley, who was electric in that second quarter, down low to Dokes, double teamed. Quick ball moon around the arc. Parking lot 3 from Aiden Woods is off the iron. And a rebounding violation called against Jalen Ashley, using his defender to propel himself in the air. (53-51) is the lead for Pike here in this third quarter. About 70 seconds left. Mitchell from the right side circle. Swanson spins it around here to Hayes. Swanson in the corner trying to get Reitz back in front, and Swanson buries his 4th triple here of the evening.
If you think back to the second quarter, the Panthers were down 9. It was a Swanson 3 that cut the halftime lead to 6. Every time the Panthers have needed an answer to stop the bleeding or potentially take the lead, Swanson has answered the call.
Woods an aggressive drive, and he gets tripped up with less than a minute remaining here in quarter number 3. Goes against Hayes, number 2 on him, and after putting Pike in the penalty in the second quarter, that's the first one against Reitz here in the third. Pass too far, out of the reach of Ashley, and the Red Devils with a rare turnover here in this second half. So they give it back to Evansville Reitz with an opportunity to build on their lead.
Well, Rick, it's something that you talked about. The self-inflicted wounds has gotten the best of the Red Devils in this third quarter.
Tinsley crossing over, floating it into Tolliver. Hayes passed him to 3, swings it back out to Tolliver in the corner. Bullied ball twice, and there's a charge against Tolliver. Howard was the first one to try to draw, but it might have been his teammate that came in and helped him out. Number 3 on Tolliver.
There's been a noticeable intention by the Panthers, by Coach Austin Brooks, to encourage his team to get into the paint, to attack the glass, whether it be with the dribble or the offensive glass, and that's been a benefit for them in this second half.
20 seconds left to go in the third. Damon Howard Jr. still looking for another scoring opportunity here in the third. He's got a game-high 16. But Pike down by 1 as the Red Devils try to hold for the final shot. Top of the key, Aiden Woods. Off target to the right, Tolliver with the board, heaves it before the horn, and it'll be short. But Evansville Reitz able to battle back. They take the lead. Heading to the fourth quarter, you're watching the Paul Logan Memorial Invitational on ISC.
McCulligan time. Oh, no! It's good.
This one is
Ah,
good.
there you
oh,
go.
Wow, Dawson makes a great catch.
Spin, win, 3, bury it for Leland Walker.
Tie the game they do with the dunk by Malik Edmonds. What a play.
Oh, my goodness.
I feel a little momentum starting to fall Ellen's way.
That is Wrestler! Wrestler! Whoa!
1 point lead for Evansville Reitz, and a really fun one here, our second to last game of the day for the Paul Logan Memorial Invitational, 5th edition, honoring Coach Logan, former assistant football coach, defensive coordinator, assistant athletic director, and athletic director here at NC, who passed away sadly due to COVID back in 2020. I was lucky enough to be Coach Logan's neighbor, and when he was the defensive coordinator for the football team, I could always tell if the defense had played poorly Friday night when he cut the grass on Saturday, because he would stomp behind his automatic mower. And I was like, I must not have been, I was like, that film session on Monday is not going to be good for the defense. But a wonderful man. If you had the chance to know him, you were lucky to do so. And all of the students interacted with him, miss him dearly. His family is here, his wife, Kathy, his sons, Michael and Will, and their daughter, Sammy. A wonderful family and a wonderful way to honor Paul Logan.
If anyone could be tagged as Mr. or Mrs. North Central, he could definitely wear that title proudly. Impacted the kids, which was #1 for him all the time. But he also impacted the athletic community and the amount of coaches that he helped in his time. And he was a hell of a football player himself in his own regard, and he's dearly missed.
Shout out to UND, where his son Will played for 4 seasons. Mitchell trying to get Reitz on the board. First possession of the 4th doesn't go. Tough offensive rebound for Tolliver. Lost it, got it back, and he gets fouled. Tolliver, even though he's been plagued with fouls tonight, has played really hard.
Well, you play really hard because you understand your role is to play really hard. If you want extra minutes, you have to do the intangible things that no one else does.
Just underway here in the 4th. Evansville Reitz has led after the 1st and 3rd quarters. Pike hoping to duplicate what they did in the 2nd here in the 4th. They leave Lawrence open for a long 3. Mitchell had the offensive board. Nice save from Pike, and the Red Devils out and running. Howard Jr. slashing, and he'll go to the line twice.
It never felt like Pike got into rhythm in that 3rd quarter, whether it was attacking the bucket or just playing with tempo. And to start this 4th quarter, I think they're trying to get back to that, attacking, taking away the self-inflicted wounds, finding themselves with easy opportunities at the rim or at the free throw line.
Howard Jr. to the line twice. He has been fantastic here this evening. 17 for him. That's right at his season average. Had 11 points in the setback against LC 2 nights ago. And he's got Pike back in front. 18 for him. And a steal in the backcourt once again from this crafty Pike defense with TJ Davis at the controls here for the Red Devils. Dokes on the baseline, bully ball. And a delayed charge call is not going to make the folks in red and white happy.
Let's pay attention to how this quarter ends up and goes final. 12 points in the 1st quarter for the Red Devils, 12 points in the 3rd quarter for the Red Devils. It was that 2nd quarter where they really turned it up and turned it on. They're doing something similar to start this 4th.
Another defensive steal and an easy layup for Jahari Miller. He's got a dozen.
It's just careless passes, not being strong with the basketball. And it's not just containing the ball, it's getting it in the passing lanes if you're the Panthers. Doing a nice job there with a different narrative. That's Luke Lawrence knocking down another 3 from deep.
4th one for him, knots us up at 57, and Davis going to keep that pivot foot secured, and he travels. 57 apiece, 90 seconds in to the 4th, as Aiden Woods is on for the Red Devils. Davis out. The foul a few moments ago on Brennan Dokes was his 4th, so he exits. He's been the guy doing a lot of the dirty work and being kind of the muscle down low for Pike, so we'll see how long he has to ride on the bench tonight for Jeff Teague's bunch. Wright's able to break the backcourt pressure. Tinsley traveled. So a little sloppy between both ball clubs here, about the 6:20 mark of the 4th.
How many travel calls have we seen the officials blow the whistle on tonight? Everyone just in a rush to make the move or to make a decision, and they forget the most important part, which is to dribble before you start moving.
Damon Howard Jr. with 18 points, dribbling out near the timeline. He and Miller almost collide with each other. And now it looks like the flip-flop the play. Miller on the high middle screen. Swanson defending in the Reitz man-to-man. Screen and roll, Hill against shorter defender, spins away. He goes against 3 guys, and he wins.
Isaiah Hill, as you've already mentioned, really coming along in that sophomore campaign, showing all of the arsenal, the ability to finish at the rim through contact. Hill has been massive for the Red Devils.
14 for Isaiah Hill. He had 10 in the first half. And the missed free throw keeps it at a 2-point lead. He defends Tinsley, who can really attack on the wing. Weave action up top for Reitz. Swanson's been deadly from three-point range this evening. Tinsley almost traveled over Hill from the mid-range, gets her to go.
It's exactly what he wants to do. Set you up, dribble, drive, combination, right into the pull-up. So many times he's executed on that tonight.
We're back level once again. And again, it's Howard at the controls here for Pike. They come in, losers of 2 in a row. Evansville Reitz unblemished at 5-0 here on the young season. Howard Jr. into the paint. Pocket picked. Reitz scoops it off the floor. The thievery started by Lawrence, but then Howard Jr. gets it back and slaloms his way to the rim and a chance at 3.
He's done everything. Deflections, scoring, tough finishes, getting to the free throw line. Damon Howard is flat out that guy, making all of his coaches and those in attendance proud for the effort that he's putting on full display.
Second one against Swanson. Howard is up to a game-high 20. Can't get the roll. Opportunity missed to make it it remains at a deuce. Toller's threat from 3. And the Reitz
could have called Tinsley away with it. This time he can in his footwork.
Coat coming off for Austin Brooks at the top of your screen.
Coach Brooks' grandparents taught at Evansville Reitz when he was a kid, and they came home sharing so many stories. So
Miller, nice attack to the rim, and Pike wants to chat about it.
Sometimes you can't allow the guy with the ball to get all the way to the rim with very little defensive presence. Jahari Miller can do it with the best of them, and he made the Panthers watch him as he finished at the rim with an easy 2.
4-point lead for Pike. This is the most breathing room that they've had here in some time tonight. 4:25 remaining in the fourth. Remember, one more game left to go. Evansville, Harrison, and North Central here to finish out our Friday night. Timeout situation. 3 left on either side. 2 30s and a full for Pike. A 30 and 2 fulls here for Evansville Reitz.
The thing I love about both of these teams, Rick, is they have 2 coaches that played basketball at a high level. For Coach Brooks, he played under Coach Painter, who's now at Purdue, when he was at SIU before, or after, I should say, his tenure at Ancilla Junior College. And then Jeff Teague needs no introduction or explanation for what he did at Pike, what he did at Wake Forest, an All-American in his last season as a sophomore before he went and jumped on the scene as a pro for 12 years with so many teams, but ending with the championship with the Milwaukee Bucks in 2021. So when you look at the head coaches at both of these programs, all the players are in good hands because they have guys that have done it at a pretty high level. So you have a tendency to listen when you're a young guy.
4-point deficit for Reitz coming out of the Pike timeout. About halfway home here in this fourth quarter. Lawrence from the volleyball line, left her short, and Miller able to get the miss here for Pike. Lawrence 4 of 9 from downtown. Miller almost lost it across midcourt. Ashley operating here. He had all 7 of his points Back in the second quarter, stolen by Tinsley. Foot race to the other end, and a right-handed tomahawk for Lavelle Tinsley.
He peeked over his left shoulder to ensure he had the clearance from the defenders just before he let one rip, hanging on the rim.
We got a guy like Isaiah Hill who seems like he can touch both ends of the gym when he extends his arms out. You need to look for clearance. And cleared for takeoff and a finger roll, Damon Howard Jr. On the other end, Mitchell goes right at Hill, and one coming for Reitz.
This is when high school basketball gets really exciting. Whatever you can do, I can do better. Same foot, same hand finish for Jalen Mitchell.
We had wondered where Jalen Mitchell was, had been held in check. It averages a double-double. Has not had the rebound numbers like he has had the last 3 games, getting 11 in each. Scoring has been down tonight, but an opportunity here, and he converts on the three-point play. He's got 8, but more importantly, he brings Reitz to within 1 with 3 and change remaining in this one.
He's under control, and he makes timely plays. That's an equation that equates to a guy that just knows how to play basketball the right way.
Macon on the deck, has not been heard from a lot offensively. The deflection goes off of him, and it's going back to the Panthers.
It's a phrase you hear at the NBA level, playing with force. That's something that you hear so often, and I think the Panthers have done a nice job playing with force to start the second half. Those forces meeting in the middle, with Pike bringing that same type of energy in this fourth quarter, which is why we're in for a special treat to finish this game.
Tinsley couldn't get the 3 to go. Less than 3 to play here from North Central High School. Damon Howard Jr. has been spectacular tonight. 22 points to lead the game, but he's trying to build on the slim advantage here for the Red Devils. Miller dancing with Swanson right to the rack, and Miller bullies his way to the rim.
The Red Devils say, okay, if you're going to put Jalen Mitchell on Damon Howard, then we're going to attack you with Jahari Miller.
Mitchell on the edge, a 3 is up and off. Chase to the corner, saved in nicely by Hayes, stays with Reitz. Tinsley thought about a tying 3 and gives off to Swanson. Hill daring Tinsley to shoot it. Almost a travel and the entry pass. And that foul is whistled with Mitchell able to exploit the height advantage on the block.
I love what Lavelle Tinsley did there. Had a chance to really pull that trigger from 3, but instead of a so-so look from 3, he got an even better look getting it down low to Jalen Mitchell and forced an extra possession.
3, good, Tinsley, and we're tied at 67.
And he made me look good because when you play the right way, good fortune comes back around to you, and he makes the Red Devils see one go through the rim from 3.
This gym has seen a lot of highlights over the years. It's got a fresh coat of paint, some new seats, and more highlights being added here this evening from North Central. 95 seconds left to go. Reitz and Pike tied at 67. Miller between the circles. Back off to Howard Jr. has been Pike's best player tonight, no questions asked. Double team comes, they lob cross court. 3 in the lead, Miller. Nope, and rebounded by Mitchell.
I don't love the possession because you play keep away, passing it across the perimeter, and then it's a shot that's not in rhythm, and you bail the defense out.
Timeout for Reitz with 68 seconds remaining here from North Central. Reitz has 2 timeouts left, both fulls after they take a 30 here. A second half to really be proud of if you're Reitz after you got hit by a sledgehammer in that second quarter. But the second half has been really, really strong for the undefeated Panthers.
This is why you play in classics like this. The Paul Logan Memorial Invitational is an opportunity for you to see against other teams. You travel up to Indianapolis. How do you stack up against talented teams? Say what you want about Pike. They are a talented basketball team, and it's been a nice response from both clubs. When they found themselves down, they found a way to claw back into it.
This is the Pike team that beat number 2 Jeffersonville back earlier in the month. Jeffersonville still without Trey Singleton, the commit to Northwestern. I know you're happy about that, being a Wildcat yourself. But still, it wasn't like it was the Jeffersonville feature Trey Singleton show and other guys joining. I mean, that's still a very high-quality win at the beginning of the year, particularly for Pike, with so many sophomores that are contributing here this year.
But in sports, you play against the guys who are available. So the injury excuse can't be something that's in the fold. Not saying that that's what you were advocating for, but you can't discredit for anyone out there that would the Red Devils in their effort against Jeffersonville.
What did Austin Brooks draw during the timeout? Going to Mitchell, going against Ashley. Double team came, and a shooting foul coming for the Panthers.
When you've gotten all your teammates involved, sometimes you can get away with a bit of bully ball and getting bailed out with the foul. Just showing the frame at 6'9", going above the defense, causing two defenders to collapse and get yourself to the free throw line.
First shot no good, so we stay tied at 67. And the big man Hill back on the floor. Fouls against Jalen Ashley, that is his second. But more importantly, that's the fifth one against Pike, so any more fouls upcoming here against the Red Devils will put Reitz to the free throw line. Mitchell misses them both. Rebound tapped out, tried to get his own miss, couldn't. And then a foul from Luke Lawrence, and that'll be his fourth. On the loose ball out near midcourt.
Has to make every coach crazy when you have an opportunity late in the game and you're at the free throw line to not just miss one, but to miss both. Those are timely buckets, timely opportunities missed out on if you're the Panthers.
And Pike wants to have a chance to chat about it. 67 up, 54 and 3/10 of a second left. We've got one more game left tonight, and it's, well, this game is setting the bar very high for Evansville, Harrison, and North Central to follow us here tonight.
That's exactly right. This is when everyone starts to trickle in the gym to see the nightcap of the evening. And both the Panthers and the Red Devils doing a nice job to finish this contest as we're knotted up with under a minute to go.
30-second timeout for Pike. That leaves them with 2 timeouts left. Do you think it's a draw it up to Howard Jr. and tell him to get out of the way? It's worked pretty well for them here in the second half.
Well, the one thing that's on your side if you're the Red Devils, there is no shot clock. So at a certain point, you do have to force the Panthers to come and guard you. But from there, unlike what we saw from Jahari Miller, get a better shot, preferably at the rim, maybe drawing a foul, getting to the free throw line.
The point that Jared made, very important. No shot clock, and so Pike can literally, with the game tied, hold it for the final shot and take this thing to the horn if they so desire. It'll be Damon Howard Jr. to inbound. Lavelle Tinsley, in his excellent length, is the one defending. Open for Ashley on the left side. Not a three-point shooter, guarded tightly by Hayes. And right before the rip-through by Ashley, Pike takes another timeout. They burned less than 10 seconds off the clock there.
But that support job by Pike, even getting it to Ashley in that coffin corner. Nothing good ever happens there, but specifically for a big who's not used to having the ball 25 feet away from the rim.
It was a 6-point lead for Pike at halftime after they outscored Evansville Reitz 31-14 in that second quarter. Reitz came back, and they led by 1 heading to the fourth, and has been back and forth here the entire fourth stanza, with neither team leading by more than 2 possessions. Pike with their almost all their starting 5 on the floor. Again, Pierce Collins is on the bench right now. So Aiden Woods, that's 3 in white at the left side of your screen with those neon yellow shoes. He's out there for Pike. To the backcourt and Miller. And the clock starts with 45 seconds left to go here in the fourth. Level at 67. Damon Howard Jr. has been a rock star tonight. As Pike has bled 10 seconds off of the fourth quarter clock. Damon Howard Jr., the game high 22 this evening. Tinsley defending him. Double team comes from Hayes. They give Howard to give it up to Miller. 15 on the clock. Swanson staying with Miller step for step. And the Red Devils will burn another timeout. That's their final timeout with 10.9 seconds left to go, and it's a full timeout. So they burned 29 seconds left, and we're right back where we were 29 seconds ago.
It just doesn't seem like they had a plan. If the plan was to dribble the air out of the ball, I think they accomplished that. But outside of that, it was Not too much going on that possession. Last two possessions.
I was wondering when they threw it to Ashley, because he was so good in that second quarter, could you try to get him at the elbow or maybe a little bit in on the baseline? But he, like you mentioned, he was stuck in that coffin corner. He was kind of going, I'm 0 for 2 for 3 on the year. This isn't my spot on the floor. And then no one came to help. It's kind of a lot of standing and looking, but there was no, everyone was kind of standing and looking. It was like the Spider-Man meme. There was no one pointing at each other. There was a lot of standing and looking, going, yes, yes, hello, hi.
I think he only got the ball because he was open.
He was open.
There was no thought put into actually getting him the basketball at that part of the court.
So 10.9. Pike doesn't have any more timeouts left, so they have got to do something on this possession. Evansville Reitz has 2 left. Macon on the floor. And he's going to get the inbounds pass from Howard Jr. Tied at 67.
They have to go at some point.
4-3. Howard Jr. wants to take it himself. Fall away 3 for the win. No. And we're going to overtime. So put an extra 4 minutes on the clock. Overtime coming up next from North Central.
Hey there, my name is Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
And we are part of, actually the entirety of, at least from an on-air standpoint, Query and Schultz on the IHSAA Sports Network. It's appropriately named. It's charitably award-winning. And Derek, now we venture into season number 5. Hard to believe.
5 of them. 5 of them. Can you believe it? 2 best buds talking Colts, Pacers, Indiana sports, every Tuesday night, 7:30, IHSAA Sports Network, and on socials as well.
It is made possible, of course, by the people who watch and listen every single week. We are most appreciative. We look forward to season number 5.
So put 4 on the clock. Let's dance some more between Evansville Reitz and Pike. They haven't met in over 40 years, so why don't we get a little extra out of it?
Get some more time added onto the clock. When you haven't seen someone in so long, you actually take more time than you intended to, and probably then some. But that's all we have here. Just some